Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
How's everybody doing today?
Hello.
Hello.
We have a new face here on the monthly wrap-ups, which we're very, very excited about.
Yeah, thank you.
We wanted to start off and introduce ourselves, and by ourselves, I mean mostly you two.
Yes.
We want to start with Ashley, and then we'll go to Nia.
Okay. I am Ashley B. Patago, and I write mostly middle grade and young adult, but I also write music, songwriter. And I host productivity sprints on Twitch on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in the evenings. So, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're so glad to have you. And I'm Nia, the Fixin' of Fiction, and I host now live writing streams, sprints for productivity on my YouTube, and I actually did it, guys. One of my goals I hit. I'm on Twitch. It's official. So I've been streaming for, I think, right at 3 weeks now. So I'm very happy to be there. It's a lot of fun. And on my YouTube channel, of course, I post videos. I do drawing videos. My kids say I'm an artist. I'm an aspiring artist, I guess. I'm working on a webcomic. I'm writing a fantasy novel, and I have some other stuff in the works. And that's me. Check out my channel. We have a good time.
All the channels, Twitch and YouTube, are linked down below for you guys to go and check out. For anybody who might be new, hi, I'm Sarah. I write YA and middle grade. I make videos on writing. I will be making videos gushing about the Shadow and Bone series when that comes out in April. And I'm soon going to start querying one of my projects for the very first time. So I'm very, very excited about that coming up.
Yay.
Very cool.
Let's do a quick see of who is here.
Sherry is here.
Sarah is
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah.
Charlie is here. Hello, Charlie. Oh, it's just you guys having a massive fun conversation.
I wish it was sunlight. It is artificial light. I am in a room that does not get a lot of light, so
Yeah, I wish I could have like better artificial light. It's really dark because I'm right next to a window. So during the day, if I'm trying to film, is just glowing the entire time, and at night, it's just darkness, complete and utter total darkness, and it's like I can't find a decent light to use to not blind me or wash me out really badly. But then the cream behind me doesn't count either, doesn't help either even. So Apple Jam is here as well.
Hey, Apple Jam.
Right, so today we have our February wrap-up stream. Me and Nia have been hosting these since, it was October last year, wasn't it? For Preptober we first started.
I think so.
I think so, yeah. Where basically we get together, we talk about our accomplishments that we've had throughout the past month. We get to shout and scream to the rooftops about all the fun things that we did, talk about the misses that we had, and then, you know, celebrate together as a community and talk about our goals going forward. So we'll start. Guys, everybody, how was February for you?
Go ahead, Ashley. We always yes. So you're gonna just get used to it. Guest always goes first.
Oh no. You know, February went better than I thought it did. Actually getting ready to be here and looking back over the month, at first I was like kind of bummed about what I hadn't done. But it was really fun to get a look at all the things that did happen this month. So I'm participating in Susan Dennard's Story a Month challenge. And so I've done my second short story, and it's a big old pile of garbage, and I love it. And finished the second draft of my middle grade novel. It used to be up here with all the cards, and now it's gone because I'm working on a new project, which is the other fun thing. And that project is a novel, but I'm also writing songs to go with it. And I was able to get 3 songs done, which is huge because sometimes the song takes a really long time. So I got 3. And one of the really fun things that we got to do this month was on the productivity streams that I do on Twitch. One of those nights, I actually wrote a song from start to finish on the stream, which was terrifying and so fun. And I really enjoyed getting to do that and trying something new, instead of doing what I normally do, which is like hoard all of my ideas and my songs. Like I'm like a very specific type of dragon. So it was really fun to get to try something new in that way. And we did the 10K day. All of us did that.
Yeah.
That was fun. So
that was a lot of fun.
That's some of what we did this month. What about y'all?
Do you want me to go next, Sarah?
Yes. You go ahead.
All right. So February surprisingly felt like it went really well. There is something I didn't do, and I got called on it last night, and I was like, but let's see. Reading has gone phenomenal. It's like I almost need to slow my roll because I'm starting to do more reading than writing. But at last year, November and then December, I didn't do any reading. It felt really bad. I didn't like it at all. And so January, I was like, okay, I'm going to read every month. I'm going to try and read 2 books. And I'm well exceeding that. I'm like, right now I've got 2 books going on at the same time. Plus I've been going through Save the Cat. So I'm like, reading is on point. So I'm very happy there. I'm still getting a lot of words. I'm getting usually 2,000 to 3,000 words every day, which would be more if I wasn't doing so much reading. But the writing sprints that I've been doing on YouTube and on Twitch have actually helped. And then I'm trying to go to people's, writing streams. I've been on with Ashley and with you, Sarah, and with Haley and Sherry and some other, you guys, wonderful sprinters. You guys do sprints for us. So as much as I can, just so I can try and at least get 2,000 words a day. And then I'm telling myself, whatever my writing goal is for the day, I tell myself I can draw after I get 1,200 words or 2,000 words, whatever the goal for the day is. Once I hit that goal, then I can draw. So it seems like I'm getting to do everything that I want to do, except for one thing. So I was on my Twitch stream, and someone was like, so you're making a webcomic, so you must have a website on World Anvil. I do. That is not ready because it's not as easy as it seems for me. I think for some people they'd go through it and it'd be super simple, but not for me because it's like it's not fun. But I want the product. I want it done. I just don't want to do it. So So that's the only thing that I'm still a little bit like, why didn't I work more on that? So I've got to fit that in. But everything else, spot on this month. I was like, this went very, very, I don't know if it was the even month, it was like 4-week block. It was like perfect. February. Yeah. It's like this perfect block. I like everything nice and neat. It worked for me.
I think the thing, because you've got such specific things that you want to do with your website as well, is what makes the coding and all of it a little bit more complicated and difficult because you've got to make more things try to work together.
Yeah, I want to have some more custom stuff. Like there's things that you can have it like that, and there's some things you can plug it in, and some things they're like, if you want this, you have to do this, and it's like, I don't really know how to do that. So then I have to try and find something that they've got that I like. I'm like, it's close, but so then I'm like, let's try. I'll just use after 2 days of trying something, I'll just use the template that they gave me. It's close enough.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's good enough. It'll work. Yeah.
I'm glad that your Februaries were at least better than mine was. What did I do? I did not read the book I was supposed to read. I did verbatim 2 novels or 3, or was it 2.5? I can't remember. In the span of February, I read more or less all of Sarah B's novel that she's currently working on, and I'm currently waiting for the rest of it as well, Sarah, by the way. So there's that. At least I can count that towards some reading. I've managed to rewrite 10 chapters for Abingdon House, and that's about it.
That's good though.
Rewrites are hard.
They are.
It's hard, and they're hard to schedule too, because you think like, oh, I should be able to get this much done in a day. And sometimes you can like blow past your goal, but then sometimes you get stuck on a paragraph and you cannot move on from that paragraph until I know Sarah already knows, but she did the hand gestures of someone who knows. But it makes it really hard to schedule.
That
so that sounds
what
great.
happened. That is exactly what happened. My goal for February was to get to at least chapter 15 of the rewrites, and I blew past the 15th. I think on the 10K day, I hit the 15th chapter. And then I think I'm currently on the beginning of chapter 2, but I haven't written this past week at all, except for my stream on Wednesday. And then it was just like I got stuck on one specific chapter where I had different parts of a scene that I just had to sort of like piece together and get from this part of the conversation to this part of the conversation, and that took me like 3 days. Then I finally pushed past it and just wrote crap, and then I got to like 1,000 words later, if that, and I got stuck, and I'm still stuck at another specific conversation that I just can't seem to write, and it's like it's so frustrating. And it's like I don't know, it's a new edition, which is worse because I'm not rewriting anything. This would be something completely new for the story, and it's one of those conversations that I have no experience in, so it's like, how do I write this in a way that is for 13-year-olds, that's not complicated but is presented and written in the correct way.
Yes.
So it's all just like I'm just like, I'm not gonna bother. Sherry knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, it is Dana's conversation. Yes. Oh,
is there anything else that you like can have in it? Is there anything else that I can have?
He woke up a couple of nights ago and he was shaking really, really badly, and was like hallucinating a little bit, and it took like 3 hours to get back to sleep. So we were like, maybe, give him a little bit of extra snacks or extra sugar, because it really felt like it was like he had low blood sugar or something, even though he's not diagnosed with anything. We have to take him to the doctor just to double check. So now he's very into, I need sugar before I go to bed, because he's sort of, so hopefully he'll be all right. But yeah, it's been a very demotivated February so far. But hopefully March will be different.
Yes.
So
I think sometimes creativity moves in different cycles, where you have a period where you get a ton done and you feel like you're on fire and everything you're doing is like, yes. And then you have those months where things are a little slower and you're more resting and you're doing your reading and you're working with the more detail stuff. And it sounds like you had more of like you were getting work done, but it was a little restful month. And so hopefully March is a season where you can
hopefully.
Yeah. And
you're
if not,
doing
it's just
important,
another month of rest.
yeah,
So
and you're doing important work with these scenes. So it is important. So you don't want to rush it. You don't want to mess it up. So I don't see that as a failure. You're actually working on it. And
yeah.
the fact that you're not just, let me just write this and now it's done, that you're not, you're like, no, I want this to be right. That's actually, to me, that's a lot of work.
I think the most important part is I actually did do my goal for February at least, so I'm not behind at least.
That's good.
I achieved the goal, I just got stuck.
Yeah.
Right,
That's so
let
good.
us see. Charlie, this would be for you, Ashley, on piano.
I do
What's on
play
play?
piano. I do play piano, but these are some of them are with a guitar, and some of them, at least one of them, I need like a full band with 4-part harmony for it to sound the way I want it to in my head. But on the stream, what I did was I wrote all the lyrics, and then my very sweet husband came in with guitar and played with me just so that I could do this is my first run through, and then I did it on camera live, and he played the chords because he is very, very smart, all things music. So I do play piano, but on the stream I played he played guitar and I played pen and paper.
It works.
Steffi, yes. Exactly
thank
what
you,
I'm saying.
Steffi.
Yes,
She had to go, so thank you.
Put back up. Thank you, Steffi. Sin is here. Hello,
Hi,
how are
Sin.
you today?
Listen.
There is no lateness, don't worry.
Yeah.
There is no time anymore. So
Hello.
you arrive and it's fine. That is the correct time. It is almost March. February did go
Yes.
quite quickly, but I think it is because it was in such a great set of the exact 4 weeks,
Yep.
which helped. Didn't feel
Yeah.
like it was dragging. Sometimes more reading is what you need to do, so this is valid. Definitely. Need to read more.
I've read one book all year that wasn't a craft-based book. It was a very good book, but I've only read one because when I'm drafting, I can't read or I start writing in the other person's voice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit
So-
difficult, yeah.
I have to take a break from reading, but now I'm trying to read all the things while I'm brainstorming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that when I'm heavy drafting. One of the things I try to do is I'll reread something, so it's not like I'm not like absorbing it as hard. And I like to do that sometimes. So I think I reread Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time because it's all coming out soon. So I'll do that, and I always keep like I keep my Jane Austen books and stuff like that. They're so easy. They're such easy reads that I'm doing heavy drafting and I don't want to, pick up someone else's voice or start adding things that shouldn't be there. Where did I get that from? Oh, I got that from reading.
From that book that I'm reading.
Yeah. And so mostly I'm writing in my fantasy novel is very, very fantasy, completely different world. So I'm not reading anything like that. And my comic is very sci-fi. So I'm not reading anything like that either. And it helps me if I just stay out of the genre specific. It can be fantasy, just not this type of fantasy, because I mostly like sci-fi and fantasy and historical fiction. So yeah. So when I started reading Children of Blood and Bone, and I was doing some more drafting, I was like having a hard time, and I was like, let me read these Bridgerton books and then go back to this. So I did that. And then now when I'm working on more editing and, more writing on the sci-fi, then I can go back and read, but I'm almost done. I'll finish it today. So it'll go on my word count. Yeah. So that's good. I just have lots of different things that I can read, and I have more than one project I can work on, but I don't read specifically in the genre that I'm writing in at the time. It helps.
Absolutely.
See, I never really have a problem with things like with absorbing other writers' styles or anything like that. But I do sometimes, if I'm definitely not in the mood to read, but I know that I sort of need to, I'll always reread a book that I know that I like, that I know I'm going to have a fun time with. Because sometimes reading new books when you're in a reading slump and it's not a good book, that just makes it worse. You're like, why did I waste my time reading this book? It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I have a hard time DNFing, but I'm very picky about the books that I do read. So if I read something, I'm like, they said it was good.
When does this get good?
They said I checked. I made sure that it was at least okay. So I have a hard time DNFing.
I can DNF a book more lately. Something 2020 made it really easy for me to be like, I'm not wasting time on this. But last year I did finish a book that I threw across the room. It made me so mad on the last 3 pages. I was so good, and then the last 3 pages, I was so mad about it.
It got
yeah. And then I was in a slump for a long time because I was like, I've been betrayed.
Don't let that happen again.
I've been hurt. I needed time to recover.
Sherry, February went to recuperating. I've just been really sick and hanging out with my cat on the couch. You've had the best February. Not the sick part, hanging out with the cat on the couch part.
Yeah.
Having lots of soup.
Yeah. Yes. She's always everywhere. So it's like hard when it's like Sherry's not here, but we know she doesn't feel well. Yeah. And so it's like, please get better. So that's the most important thing, is to take care of yourself, and cuddles with the cat. That's important. So you got to take care of yourself. So when you got to go, you got to go. It's all right. We'll be here when you're ready.
Sin February was unexpected. I liberated, I can't read now, myself from Milwordy, and have been working more on my art and reading rather than writing, but I did figure out what direction my novel is going in. That's really good.
That's great.
Oh, Milwordy.
I've gotten to the point where I can't remember who is actually doing Milwordy anymore or not. And I am still doing Milwordy, but I am also not bothered about Milwordy. Every so often I'm like, I haven't written in 3 days. I'm supposed to be doing Milwordy. Oh well, it's fine.
I keep thinking that I'm going to start Milwordy, and I was originally thinking I was going to start and do like a half one starting in March. But I have a lot of other non-writing things I need to get done in March. And I will get disappointed if I'm too far behind the goal. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to wait until April, when things are just, in theory, things are just a little calmer. And camp starts then. So that's a good way to kick it off.
Yeah.
So, and just a half. And I'm counting every word I read.
It's fine. I'm only doing a half Milwordy, and I'm not hard committed to it. Like, I've been keeping count of my word count, but I'm only counting like what I write for my comic or for my novel, or if I'm drafting in one of my other side projects. Those are the only words I'm counting. I don't have time to go through all of every single thing that I write. But I'm counting everything. Like, I'm like, when did it start? Okay, so I'm counting everything from NaNoWriMo, and I'm just adding them all up. I'm not even keeping, I know I have everything written down, but I'm not like, I don't have a spreadsheet or anything like that. Eventually, I'll total up and see where I'm at, but I'm only doing a half, and I'm not hard committed on it, because I told you guys before we started, I'm more about what I accomplished, and I try not to dwell on what I didn't get done, because sometimes it can sometimes bog you down, and you feel like, I didn't do all of these things, and it's like, but look at all the things that you did do. And so when I'm older, guys, so by the time to my age, it's like I don't have time to just be dreading everything that I didn't get done. I can't.
See, I started Milwordy off really strong, and then I think it was January. I was just like, oh, okay, let's just write and then whatever. I can catch up. And now it's just like I don't want to know how much I have written. Then I'm going to be like, okay, now I need to write this much per day in order to make sure that I hit 1 million by the end of August.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'll keep tracking and I'll have my good months back again eventually. And if I hit 1 million, I'll hit 1 million. And if I don't, but this is how much I did manage to hit in this year, and that's still going to be an accomplishment, even if it doesn't happen to be 1 million words.
Yeah, and that's what I told everybody about the burpee challenge. I'm like, if you start and you can only do one, even if you don't, what is it, 100 burpees? I don't know how many y'all how many y'all were supposed to do. But I was like, even if you only make it up to 20, you went from 1 to 20. So hey,
absolutely.
Awesome. I know
100 burpees. That's 20 per hour for 5 hours. I've already got it planned in my head for when that time comes. We'll see if it works.
No.
Hello, Manuel.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Sarah is writing new stuff as we speak. Good.
Yeah, yay.
Good.
Oh, where are we?
Oh no.
Don't let it jump on you. I hate it when it does that.
Ashley's music sprints was so much fun.
Oh good, I'm glad. I was worried that the metronome got annoying.
See,
I miss a metronome. I love them. Old band geek, so.
First of all, that just means you don't have to do more, Ashley.
We'll get there, you guys.
I have this guitar that has been sitting here. My son has been asking me to tune it for like a month. That's on my did not accomplish list. Also, I'll get to it eventually.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'll get to it eventually list.
yeah.
I lost my tuner. I think I know where it's at, but I don't want to dig it out.
There is a free app on your phone that you can download on a phone, Android or Sprint. That's not a thing anymore. Android or Apple or whatever. It's just an app and it's free and it works really well. There are lots of musicians that stopped carrying a tuner and just do it with their phone.
That would be awesome.
They work great.
I'm giving it back to my son. He can do it himself.
Yes. Yes, he can.
Absolutely.
Yay, that's off of and it's still February. So what?
You checked it off. Hooray!
It's another thing done.
That's what we're all here to help each other and encourage each other and give ideas to how we can delegate tasks.
Yeah, someone asked me for a couple weeks ago. They're like, is that a guitar back there? I'm like, oh yeah, let's not talk about that. I'll get around to that.
Ashley, I need to know the name of the app that will write my book for me.
Oh, I don't know that one.
And the app that will do the website for me.
Yes.
You guys. When I find one, I'll definitely let you know. Okay. Y'all be first.
Fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Sherry, this is a huge deal. I've never seen Ashley yell at all. Throwing a book at wall is extreme.
I mean, I was very upset. I understand why the author did what they did now that I'm a calmer, more rational person. I've grown as a human and I understand why the author did what they did, but that character was so frustrating because I get why the author did it. I don't get why the character did it. Does that make sense?
You have to tell me the name of this book.
Well, not on the stream.
Yeah. Sarah is ready for the torture.
Yeah. I really liked everything else. And then we got to the last 3 pages and the character made a decision that so utterly confused me.
Was it
and then the
character?
book was just over. It was out of character. in a way that made that character unredeemable for me.
Oh man.
There is no way that I would. Oh man, it was so good up until that point. I can't tell you how good it was up until that point. I'm not telling. I see that Sin asked which book we're talking about, and I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say it on the stream. But it was so frustrating because it had such good potential. And then it felt like the author was like, and this is going to be my big twist. But it didn't make sense for the character to behave in that way.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It sounds like it was a twist that the author needed to make
To end the book.
To end the book and set something up for a potential sequel.
I hope not.
Oh wow.
I think it's a standalone. I think it is a standalone book.
Makes it worse.
Yeah. I think it's a standalone book.
Oh, that is very frustrating. Oh my god, camp is coming. Yes.
It is.
Camp Nunnery
First one.
Only 31 days away. Well, it will be tomorrow, but
Camp prep starts tomorrow.
So excited for prep. That is my main only goal for March is prep for April.
It's a good goal.
Day is here. Hello, Day. How are you?
Hello.
No, I don't want to right click and put a user in timeout. That was an accident.
Oh no.
I'm trying to figure out my rising and moon sign.
Oh.
Is there anybody who could help with that?
I know.
I'm not an astrological inclined person.
I'm
I
a
don't even know what
Cancer.
those are. So.
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer. I have a lot of feelings, and I don't tell you about any of them.
Yeah. I'm a Libra. And Libras, we think we're that scales of fair and balance, and everybody else sees us as unicorns that poop rainbow ice cream. So it's how we see ourselves and how everybody else sees ourselves. But I know, because, I'm like, yeah, it's right. I'm not even going to try and pretend it's not.
I know, literally.
But that's all. That's as far as I know. I just know
Sarah.
certain signs. I know signs. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know my rising or my moon sign. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Oh, we're getting signs in the chat though.
Oh yay! People know. Day is a Libra too.
And a Sagittarius.
Yes.
Very cool.
I'm a Gemini. All I know is that we're supposed to be two-faced.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's true. My husband is one also, and he is the nicest. And you are the nicest. So maybe that's what Geminis are. They're just all nice.
And nobody believes it. They're like, they can't be this nice. That's what it's not you, it's us.
We all have trust issues.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sin is a Virgo.
It's the rest of us.
It's the rest of you.
A Virgo.
It's a Gemini too, yeah. I'm using one of those generated things and my birthplace won't come up on the map.
Oh
no! Okay.
That's you pick a place that's near.
Yeah, somewhere close.
You were born in a place that both does and does not exist in the known universe. You are a magical being.
That's
and
right.
Therefore unable to be defined by a silly app or generator.
Just need to look at Charlie's avatar to know the truth.
Oh yes, look at obviously
there we go.
Full of magic.
Yes.
Right. So now that we have spoken about the accomplishments we have done in February, what are some of the things that you wish you had done, or wish you had the motivation or time to do but didn't quite manage to do? Words.
You're pointing at me. Well, So a lot of the things that I wanted to get done that I wasn't able to get done were more like I wanted to get more organized so that maybe I could do Millwordy. And that did not happen. I'm still a mess. I like to pretend I'm organized with my charts and everything, but I'm a big old mess. So I wasn't able to get as organized as I would have liked to been. I also think that something that I needed to work on this month, and I didn't, was I need to be better about managing and balancing my writing time. I got a lot of writing done, but at the expense of other things that I needed to take care of, and spent a lot of time on Discord. That meant that I wasn't writing. I was getting to hang out with everybody, and I loved it, but I wasn't doing the writing that I locked myself in my bedroom and told everybody I was doing.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. Okay. Secret's safe here on the internet. That was not Sherry's fault.
No.
That was not your fault. It was my fault. It was I also joined 2 critique groups, and I turned nothing in for either one. They're probably both very happy with me. I'm gonna do better next month. That's one of my goals, but I didn't turn anything in. I did critique things, but didn't turn anything in for them to critique, and they were aware. Let me know.
Well, they can't fault you too much if you are doing the other end of that and critiquing someone else's work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did try to make sure that I was helping them along, even though I wasn't posting anything in the folders. But they very, very kindly nudged me and were like, "Hey, are you?
Just so you know,
are you okay? Are you? Is this a bad time?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay. I just had to talk about food. It's very important to me. This food is very important, you guys.
Yes, it is. We need it. So it's
Well, that's what
okay.
I didn't get done, was I didn't get the work done that I was supposed to for my critique groups, and I didn't set up schedules in systems so that I could do more of the things that I wanted to do. But that's okay. That's like that's part of life. Learning how to balance, and then learning that there is no balance, and that some days you are going to have more writing heavy days, and some days you're going to talk about the difference between forks and spoons. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Mia, you're talking.
I did too. Okay. Yes, a significant amount of time was wasted thinking about this.
Just so much thought.
Yeah. So for me, I think the biggest thing, which is still has been since I started this in December, the website, and it's not that bad. I just really need to just buckle down and do it. It's probably not even that hard, but and I need to just tell myself it's okay to use some of these other things. Everything doesn't have to be custom. The important thing the reason why I wanted to use this website is because I wanted to be able to have a map and be able to, when you click on places on the map, for it to be able to take you to the planets and who's from that planet, and it links so nicely. It's the way that it all comes together on World Anvil. Other websites can't quite do that. It would be more like a spreadsheet, like here's the character, here's a list of where they're from. And I didn't want that. I wanted that interactiveness. Yeah. So if I just get it done, use some of the templates that they have and not stress about, oh, it's not custom, it's not exactly like mine. You know, they got some spacey stuff and star stuff. It's fine. So if I just tell myself it's fine, it'll be fine.
And you can always go back and edit things if it
As
really
I learn. Yeah.
as you learn, and if it really bothers you, you can go back and fix it. Nothing is like it's your world, so it's only set in stone if you want it to be set in stone, right?
Yeah.
So
it is. That's true.
and it's better to, especially when you're learning something new, like a new website and all the things that involves, it's always better to like, this is the best that I can do right now. And I know that as I learn more, I will be able to do better, and I can go back and like love on it some more.
And it's so good to hear that advice from someone else, because I gave that advice to somebody else about world building. I told somebody this almost exactly. I said, because she's like, I want to learn how to world build. It's so hard. And I said, you know what? Only world build as much as you need. Start little. If you only need this, only do this much. You don't have to have the whole big shebang. You know, like those of us that get stuck in world builder syndrome. I've got it bad, but it's fun for me. So if it's not fun for you, but you know you need more information, do what you need. And it's fine. That's okay. So it's, thank you for giving me the advice right back. It's so true.
Sometimes you need to hear your words said to you. So I'm glad that I could be that mirror for you. I was saying it to myself also.
This is my advice for you for this thing that you're struggling with. I'm also struggling with that thing, and I don't follow my own advice, but you must treat your website like your first draft.
Yeah.
Stick to the template, and that's your first draft, and then once you've learned more, you can go into the second draft. And then customize it as you want. But if you want to get it out there, then do what you need to do to get it out there.
Yeah, because I'm starting to feel like it's the only thing that's holding me back from, you know, being able to get it all ready, is because I want everything in place. I want everything to be perfect first. And it's like there's this one thing that's like putting a stop to everything.
The people going to the website are not going to know that it is not your, well, we are. Other people
I told you.
are not going to know that it is not your perfect vision. So you might not like it per se or as much as you want to, but there are going to be people out there who absolutely love it, even if it is just a template.
Yes.
You got this, Nia.
Yes.
You can do
it.
I don't know what did I want to do more of? I wanted to write more frequently than I did in February. One of my big goals for 2021 is to write like I have writing as a full-time job. And it's not just me writing in my spare time and stuff. And part of that is trying to write more days out of the week or out of the month than I don't write. And I've come very close in February to failing that particular aspect. I think I'm okay. I think I have written more than I have not written, but on my tracker there's too many blank spaces for me to be like truly happy with my effort, sort of thing. Like I'm sure I could have pushed myself to write a few sentences every single day if I really wanted to, just to have something. So I felt like I've done the work. But I'm also sort of like beyond caring until much later. So on the day I'm like, oh, that's fine, I don't care. And then the next day I'm like, oh damn it, I care now.
Oh no.
Which is very, very frustrating. And I wish I read the book I was supposed to read. I read other stuff, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I'm trying to read 12 books a year, and I'm not counting books I beta read as part of that, because reading a book is supposed to be like sort of relaxing, refilling the creative well sort of thing.
Yeah.
And despite the fact me enjoying the books that I beta read, I am technically also working while I read those books with the comments and the critiques. So yes, I did read. No, it was not a relaxing read, I guess. I wish I had read more in February. There we go.
Yes.
That made sense. I think
that does. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But then apart from that, like, I didn't do as much as I wanted to for Abingdon House, but I did the goal I set myself to do. I've put aside one of my other novels I was supposed to be working on this month as well, which I'm not happy about. But I think I need to work on it more before I start trying to pants it, because I don't think it's the right story that I want to tell within this world that I've created. So yeah, I'll figure it out. It's okay.
You will figure it out. And I was where you were at back in December, where I didn't read anything. So it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It happens. It's like we've all been there.
Yeah.
All right. You still got other things done. So you're going to be fine, Sarah.
But February's done now.
Yep.
Bring on March. March is a new month.
That's right. And it has like, what, 3 extra days? So yay.
3 days. Yes, it does.
This one was so short.
But so rectangular.
It was so, yes, I did.
So
I like that symmetry. It spoke to me.
Starts on a Monday, finishes on a Sunday.
Perfect.
Yep.
Absolutely perfect. How did everybody else do? Senga, I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do now that I finished my first draft.
Think about it for a minute.
I'm very tempted to plug myself here. Because I did do a whole sort of workshop presentation for this specific thing in December. I want to say it was for oh my god, I can't now.
For December.
In December for something that I can't remember the name of, but that's really, really frustrated me that I can't remember what it is. But yeah, I do have a whole like how to go from first to second draft video, but
it's on the page. She has a lot of good videos, so you will not do wrong if you go check out all the videos. You'll find a ton of things that are very helpful. And then eventually you'll get to that one in December, so don't worry.
The first thing. Advice? Oh yes, go ahead.
Oh no! I'm asking you guys what advice.
Oh,
you have. I'm sure that our advice is actually quite similar. I see that Sin has already mentioned the first thing I would have mentioned anyway.
Which is yes, to let it take a nap.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's why I was like, celebrate for a minute, do something else, let it ruminate, and then come back to it and read it with fresh eyes. It will help you with the editing, the whole next step. It will help if you're coming at it a little bit fresher and not like I just looked at it, 2 days ago. I like a little breather.
Absolutely. And I also think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to try and write every day. So as soon as we finish something, we want to start the next thing, and we don't give ourselves the time and opportunity to mark big occasions. Like, you finished an entire first draft. That's incredible. And it deserves a celebration. Yeah. But we have this mindset of, well, a real writer writes every day. And I don't think that's true. I think everybody who's here who has written something is a writer, right? Yeah. Not an aspiring writer, not an amateur writer. You're a writer because you've written something, and that you should celebrate it, and you should let that thing take a nap while you think, because part of writing is thinking and learning new techniques and reading new stories and gathering new ideas. And it doesn't always mean butt in chair hands on keyboard, pen in hand. So
find-
congratulations, you finished your first draft.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
I find that if you go straight into trying to sort out your second draft, you haven't got enough distance. So all the thoughts and feelings you have while you were writing your first draft, oh, this sounds bad, that doesn't make sense. You're going to have those thoughts as you go into the second draft, which is not the best mindset or headspace to be in when you're trying to make something better. And make something fit more of the vision in your head. So yes, taking a break, I do about a month, at least a month. Sometimes it's longer, never shorter. So by the time I go back to it, there's bits I forgot I wrote. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I put that in there.
Yeah.
Or you're reading something back and you realize, actually, no, that does sound really good. That makes sense. Etc., etc., and you'll be able to more clearly see what you need to take out and what you need to put in and what needs work, because you are not so attached to it after that length of time.
Yep.
So yes, definitely take a break, give yourself a rest, and then when you go back to it, I read it twice. I don't know who else reads it twice. I do a read, and then I do a write a read. So I read it as a reader first, without trying to nitpick at everything, so I can sort of get a general sense of how I feel after reading it. This part was boring, this was exciting, this bit confused me. And then I go back with those notes and then do a more thorough read as a writer. I didn't mean to do that as a writer, but for the writer, pick out where a scene needs to go in to make this plot point make sense, and what needs to be taken out because it doesn't quite fit in with everything else.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it, because you get to read it the first time and you actually remind yourself the things that you like about your project. And you get to see the things where you're like, oh, maybe I can do this. And then you go back and you do the writer one and you're like, oh, I got all the things I got to do. But you still have that like buoyancy of, there were some things in here that were not garbage.
You've got your list of this was good, and you can keep that list and go, I did a good job.
Especially since when we write our first draft, something that writers say a lot is, this is garbage. This is hot garbage. I think I did that earlier to myself. I was like, I drafted this book and it's garbage. And we say that a lot. And then we are expected to go edit garbage. And that doesn't sound fun.
No. I'm just going to toss the whole thing in the garbage. And
I have
so getting to the idea that you have, Sarah, of going and reading it as a reader and reminding yourself why you love the story and your characters and the things that you really did well is really good. And then you go back with the more critical eye and you can fix those things, reminding yourself that, hey, this is not garbage. There are some bits that are a little frayed around the edges, but we can fix this. And it's not as garbagey as I was saying as I was writing it.
It's helpful to think of yourself as a trash panda. I say this quite regularly now because it helps me out, but all writers are trash pandas, and our first drafts are trash, but trash pandas love trash. So, and we will find the bits of trash that we treasure the most and keep it, and we'll fix the rest of it. So you're all trash pandas, and I love you all for it. So, Sherry, I didn't really get any of what I wanted done. I have beta reading to do, and it is freaking me out. Why is it freaking you out?
Don't be freaked out. It's okay.
Have you got lots to do? Is that what's freaking you out?
Yeah.
I'm sure most, if not everybody who you're beta reading for is going to be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry
we all
about it.
Understand.
Take time to get sick, Sherry.
Yeah. I would think when people ask you to beta read, they understand that you do have a life and that also things happen. So it's okay. They usually give themselves enough time. So it's okay.
And you haven't been feeling well, and you've been great about communicating that
Mhm.
with. I'm sure you have been like, "Hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm doing my best," and that's wonderful. So,
Yep.
don't be freaked out. We love you.
Yes, yes, Charlie.
Health first.
Yes.
Don't
all
worry about
caps.
everybody else. Worry about
Absolutely.
you. Charlie, I wish I wrote more. Got my work in progress out of beta. Yes. And spent the month learning how to crochet.
I love to
Nice.
crochet.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love that.
Nice.
That sounds wonderful. Sometimes, so there's a book called The Artist's Way. It's where you get things like the morning pages and the artist's date. You've heard of this book? Anybody heard of it?
I don't think so.
Okay, so one of the things she talks about is grounding activities, and sometimes when we are overstressed and overstimulated and having a hard time being creative, something that you can do is a grounding activity. And a grounding activity is something like going for a walk and your feet hitting the ground over and over again, or going out in the garden and doing weeding, where you just cutting vegetables in the kitchen, or cutting something in the kitchen and making a food is a grounding activity. But so are things like crocheting and knitting. And we are all living in a weird moment.
Yeah.
Very long, weird moment in history. And so spending time doing things that are grounding, like crochet, which is a repetitive motion, is actually really smart, and it's good for your brain and your mental health. So learn how to crochet.
Yes.
That's good for you.
Although you need to let me know what you're crocheting.
Yes.
Needs to know. Senga, I honestly did okay. I finished all I wanted to write. That's good. Read more than I thought I would, and painted a bit.
Yay.
We had a fantastic
Is very happy to hear that you got some painting done. Yay.
That's wonderful.
Yay.
Way to go.
That's good. Sherry's teaspoon. There was
Me
definitely
too.
some sort of conversation that I've been asleep for.
It's a question of the day. How's it going? Would you rather have a spoon or a fork? If you could only have one, would it be a spoon or would it be a fork? And I'm team spoon.
I'll be a spoon.
I'm team spoon if you can use the other end like chopsticks, because I like
That's what I said.
pasta. I like pasta.
You can twist pasta around. I even mentioned this. You can twist pasta around the spoon. You can also, if you need to poke, you could use the other end of that, sharpen the other end of that spoon. I mean,
more talented people
But you
could
can't get
probably
soup.
twirl it around a spoon, but I am not.
you can just hold it, twist, and yeah.
There's stuff you can eat with a spoon that you can't eat with a fork.
Yeah, I gotta have
Like
soup.
what?
I gotta have soup, and I don't want to the whole bowl.
Why not? You eat the okay,
It
but
would
like,
be in my hair, up my nose. No.
but what if you like? It's you eat the chunky parts, and like soup has brothy and chunky. You eat the
Yeah.
brothy, the chunky part with the fork. You can either drink the brothy, or get a delicious piece of bread and use that as your brothy, and then it doesn't get in your hair or on your nose, and
Yeah.
you've also got to eat bread.
Well, yeah, the bread is a plus.
Yes.
I
Cereal.
like my soup and chunky
Don't
together.
eat cereal.
Can't eat cereal. with
Cereal.
Don't eat
Cereal.
No.
You need to
Again,
You need the
cereal
milk
gets
and cereal in
dunked
the
into the
same
milk with you get it out with the fork, and then you're not getting too much milk or beverage of choice with your cereal, and then you drink the milk.
There's a comment coming up. That's exactly what I said.
I like lots of milk with my cereal.
Is it the spork? Yeah,
It's a thing.
it is a thing.
That's exactly what I said.
But
Questions of the day are very interesting. They make your brain think, but they can also be distracting because then you really start thinking. Really hard. that occupy your mind for more time than they should.
I mean, the question popped up for me at 8 a.m. and it is 4 p.m. and I am still
thinking about it.
Still ruminating.
It's a very, very good question.
Yes.
Didn't set goals for February, so I guess writing-wise, I didn't get to write as much as I wanted to, though that was out of my hands. See, you still managed to do some writing.
Absolutely.
I think sometimes we as writers sort of like overstep how much we want to do versus how much we physically can do.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot of the time, because Ashley, as you said, sometimes we don't think things are going to take that long to do in our heads, and we go, oh yeah, I can easily do 10,000 words this month, that's fine, that's not much. But then when you actually get down to it, it's like, actually no, this is a bit more difficult than I thought it would be.
Yeah I have to suss it out.
Or the washing machine breaks, or everything gets really cold and you don't want to do anything, or like life comes up as well. So sometimes things happen.
I don't know who said it. I keep wanting to think it was Holly Davis, who I first heard this from. I honestly don't know if that's the case anymore. But she has a system where she gives herself 3 different goals when she sets like her word count goals. So like good, better, and best. So like her good goal would be 500 words, her better goal would be 1,000, and her best would be 2,000. And then no matter which one she hits, she still hits
one of them.
So that sort of avoids.
I like that.
I didn't get my goal finished because I didn't hit 1,000 words, but you hit 500 words, and that was one of your 3 goals. So you still achieved your goal in a sense. I can't remember the video that she mentioned it on now, and I swear it is Holly Davis who said it. I don't know who she got it from, but that's where I first heard it. But I think we as writers need to do, apply some sort of minimum that we would be happy with as a goal.
Yes.
That is less than our words. Better than what we think we can do.
Yeah.
To sort of avoid that whole, I didn't get as much writing done as I wanted, but you still managed to hit, that sort of level that you would be happy with as a writer in your stuff.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
It's a good idea.
Sounds like something I would. It's right up my alley.
Sherry, my goal that I did accomplish: ate a bunch of chips and salsa.
Yes.
Yeah. Watched The Flash. Yeah.
Yes.
Now I need to write a fanfic.
Ooh.
Yay! Oh, cool! Fun.
Yeah.
The feels hit Sherry with The Flash.
Yes. I'm like, where have you been? It's such a good show. I love it.
Uh-oh.
I watched up to the beginning of season 3 of The Flash, and then I stopped watching. I don't remember why, but now I have started rewatching it again to see if I can sort of figure out why I stopped and get past it, because I did enjoy The Flash when I used to watch it.
There is a season where I DNF'd like half a season, and then I came back to it. And it wasn't. You know what? I don't even want to get into it. I'll tell you guys about it in the Discord because
yeah.
But I did come back to it. I knew I was going to come back to it, but I was annoyed.
Sarah, not so much, but at least up until mid-January or so, I had such high hopes of being finished with the book I'm drafting by now. Still like 40,000 words to go, and I'm waiting for them, Sarah.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
No, you were busy, but you got this.
Yeah, 40K to go.
Absolutely.
It.
40K is a lot, but you can do it.
Yes.
I
believe in you.
But
don't
when
stress.
you compare it to what you have already written in that book, 40k is not as much. I imagine it's not as much.
Yeah.
how long it actually is, but you got this. You got busy. Life happened.
That is just 10K a week.
Yep.
For the next 4 weeks.
Just over 1,000 words a day.
Yeah.
There we go. Camp NaNoWriMo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Less
and
than.
we've got so much stuff coming up. We've got the Worldwide Write-a-thon in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Camp Nano coming up. So do not despair. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna get this done.
Yeah.
And Sarah and I are here at the end of every month. You can let us know how it's going. And so don't stress. Don't stress. Do not stress.
No. You got this.
I'm reading a little bit down in the comments. So if you see me looking away, I'm trying to read the comments so I can kind of get ahead on what if someone has a problem with something or has a question about something. So I'm listening to everybody, I promise. I'm just looking to get a little ahead on the comments.
No, you're fine.
Charlie, my most recent work in progress, I'm like 2,000?
I think that's 200,000.
200,000.
200 whips. That's
because I described the entire
progress. That's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
Described the entire sphere of this mythological realm. Oh wow.
Wow.
It went hardcore into the world building.
Wow, that's
impressive.
I love that.
So do I. That's great.
No. Not ever.
No. We really don't. Like when someone needs it, it's right there. We can tell somebody else. But then when we're struggling, we're just like, why am I struggling?
But that's why we have community, and that's why we have each other, so that they can be like, hey, remember this thing that you said? Wouldn't it be nice if you heard it from someone who cares about you and your work? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
I think I need to keep a book of writing advice that I give people for specific situations. And then when I struggle, like a little handbook, I flick through and I'm like, that's what I would tell myself.
That's a great idea.
You should write that, Sarah. Yes. Writing advice I give other people and I need to take for myself.
Yeah. Yes. Do that. I might.
That is a thing. Yes.
Might also do this. This is a great idea.
Yep. We can make that a project, but then that'll go on our to-do list.
No,
it's
on Sarah's to-do list. Sarah's going to do it.
All the pressure's on Sarah that she has to do it. We maybe will do it.
Okay, Camp NaNoWriMo 2024. That's my project.
I love it.
Yes.
That's the wrong one. Charlie's in the rewrite stage. That's good.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Sherry's plans for March. Right, okay, so since Sherry's already hit us on the head, thanks, Sherry. What are everybody's goals for March as we head into the third month of the year? Sherry has to catch up.
Yep.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. Ashley.
Oh. Do I have goals?
She's come prepared.
Here's the thing.
You were saying that you wanted to be more organized in February, but like here you are, like 100% organized. Like I have my list of goals to share with everybody.
I always have a list of goals. That's my secret, Cap. I always have goals. I'm always angry. Just kidding. So I have this sheet of goals. This is actually the rough draft. The final copy is back there. You can, I don't know which shoulder it is. This one.
Yeah.
You can see it hanging over there. And I write down all of the goals that I have, not just for writing, but also for like fun things I want to do during the month. And I think I also have like scheduled dentist appointments on there because it's important. And if it's on here, then I'll check it off. And if it's not, then I will once again forget to schedule dentist appointments during the year of when time is weird. So my husband and I are recording an album. and we got 2 songs done last night. Actually, during Nia's sprint, we were setting stuff up, or I was setting stuff up. He was making burgers, and then we recorded. It's fun. So I think we only have 1 song left to do for all of the songs to be recorded for that project. And then we can start thinking about album art and all the things we need to do so that it's copyrighted legally. And that's a whole thing. But that's not the goal next month. The goal next month is just to finish recording that 1 song. I would also like to write 3 more songs for the young adult project that I'm working on. And I'm going to use next month as camp prep. So lots of, I'm going through Story Genius right now, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. I've looked at Save the Cat, and I tried that for my last book, and I really liked Save the Cat. And this feels like the next step for me, because I really struggle with characterization and motivation. And this book has really been very helpful. So I don't think it's a new book for some people. It's like, Story Genius, but Story Genius, you guys, it's so good.
Yeah.
Next month, I want to spend time tracking how much time I'm actually writing, because I think that I write more than I give myself credit for. And I think also I may be, as I said, I spend a lot of time doing writing where I'm not writing. And I need to track that time too, so that I'm not to shame myself, but just to kind of be aware of how I'm spending time. So I can start to make smarter decisions going forward. The short story, Susan Dennard's Story a Month, I'm going to do that, and I have to turn in some things for my critique groups. 1 thing for both critique groups. They each get a thing, so that they stop saying, "Hey,
where you at?
you okay? Everything okay?" And then for fun, I'm actually when we're finished with the stream, I'm gonna go make paper out of paper. I spent this month, I watched 4 hours of videos on YouTube, so I'm basically a paper making expert now. And so now I'm gonna go attempt to do it for the first time. I am very excited. And the first round I'm just doing with paper from the shredder, but I do have my morning pages journal, and I think that will be a nice way to not keep them around anymore, because I don't necessarily need a bunch of journals where I am fussy around for other people to find, but I don't want to just throw them in the trash. So this feels like a better way of honoring the time I spent journaling and honoring that piece of me without turning it into compost, which was the other idea. But compost smells bad, and I didn't want to. Or it doesn't smell bad. It smells
it's
earthy. Earthy. And I didn't like that idea as much either. So I'm gonna work on that next month. And then there are a bunch of things that are not. Did I cover all of the writing thing? There's a lot, and I recognize that. But and build a website. Oh no, you were just talking about a website. I have to have a website. It doesn't have to have anything on it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but I need to make one. That's it. It might not have any pictures or words on it, but it's going to exist by the end of the month.
Yeah.
It will exist, and that's it. Yes, that is actually it. Well, that's all.
Yeah, I had a website a few years ago, and it was like, I don't know if it was like a Weebly or something like that, but it's a very simple website where you can just drag and drop and write everything. Yeah, I might go back to that. No, I'm going to try this one first.
Yes.
Because I really want to do it. So yeah.
I love it.
So, yeah. So for me, that's one thing for March. I'm going to get back on it. Not going to give up. I know I want this website because I want things a certain way. So I really want to try and get it. And I'm going to do that. I'm not going to stress about the things that I can't do, and use templates, use the stuff that they have ready. The main thing that I want, I can do with, I can actually do the main thing that I want. And that's the interactive stuff, because I just have to put everything where it needs to be and then connect. It's kind of like connect the dots, so that I can do. It's the other things where I'm like, oh, I can't just drag and drop the picture in to that spot. That's too bad. But I actually have to make a code for it or something. So not fun, but the end product will be nice. I will like it. And they have a lot of resources for that reason. And I just need to buckle down and set aside time to actually go through the resources, because there's probably things that will make it easier. And I just haven't read all the things that I need to make it easier on myself, to get it to where, okay, this is really doable. So that I want to stay on the reading. I like the way that I do my to-do list is more of a to-done list. I like that. I have things that I know I need to do, and as I accomplish them, I mark them off. And so I'm going to stick with that. That's working for me. A lot of it is taking the things that worked from February and trying to keep that going into March, and see if February was just a fluke, or if this is I've really found my rhythm where I'm doing fitness, I'm also baking, and I'm also writing, and I'm also working on my comic, if I could squeeze in the website in there somewhere. But really, just making sure I can stay on the reading, and because that was really important. I really didn't feel good not reading. So that was just, I know the writing should be important, but something about not reading just really didn't feel right to me. So I'm very happy about that. So I just want to keep it going. I have a feeling kids come in. But yeah, so a lot of my March goal is to keep up what I've been doing and see what actually works, continues to work, and keep streaming. I'm trying to really work out streaming schedule. Saturday and Sunday really work. I like Friday and Monday also, and Wednesday also really works. The Friday and Monday, they don't work all the time. So I hope that people are okay with me not streaming every Friday and Monday. You know what I mean? Just feeling out, how do people like that? Should I just take it off? Either are they do it or don't do it? So I've got to get some feedback from other people who actually watch my streams to see what they like, and just those types of things for March. But yeah, I'm optimistic about March. I'm not. February went so well. I'm almost a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it or anything, because I'm like, this month really felt like it went too well. I'm like a little nervous.
No, don't be nervous.
But if I can stick with it and this actually turns out, you know what? The beginning of February, I was very tired. I had to get into this rhythm. I remember that now. I remember being really, really because I felt like I was doing a lot. But then I think I've just, as the weeks went on, I was reading at this time work, doing this. And now I'm it's very smooth. So I think I want to just carry that into March.
Yes. I love that.
Yes, you got it.
What about you, Sarah?
Oh, let me bullet journal. I don't really have that many goals, to be fair, that are writing related. I usually do, because I'm usually working on more than one project. I'm not working on more than one project at the moment, technically. No, that's a lie. I'm working on more than one project, aren't I? My God. Okay. First goal would be to actually read a book, to relax with. I'm currently also, I've just started actually beta reading today, so I need to read some more of that in March, and it is mostly going to be prep for Camp Sanarimo, which I'm looking forward to because I get to, for the very first time, write a sequel to a planned series.
Cool.
I've gotten to that point once before, but it was a very, very sad attempt at sequel. But this one, I'm going to be writing the second book in the Abingdon series. So I get to spend March planning the plot a little bit more. I've done some work on it, but I need to sort of like make the plot make sense and give myself enough plot to be the entire book. And then I need to outline that. And I'm going to be trying out a new outlining method, which I'm looking forward to as well.
Ooh, which one?
The 9-block 27, 3-act 9-block 27 chapter outline from Katie Tastic.
Yes.
Which I'm very, very, I'm like, it looks so easy. I will see how easy it actually is to implement. And then I need to reread or do my reader and writer reads for Project Theft. So I can eventually start working on that. And then more planning for another new novel because inspiration hit and wouldn't leave me. So 2021 is going wrong because at the end of 2020, I turned around to myself and said, I'm not going to write any new books in 2021. I'm going to focus only on redrafting and rewriting the books I already have, except this will be the new books and stories galore now already. I just can't help myself. Clearly, it's very terrible.
It's okay.
I just thought of something else as well, and I forgot what it was. Nope, it's gone.
Nope, it's gone. Yeah, I remembered something. In March. I'm reading Story Genius also.
Yes,
Get ready for Preptober. I went through Save the Cat this past month, read through it, and so next month I'm going to go through Story Genius, just so I'm ready for Camp Nano.
Story Genius, going through the exercises. I did it at first, like, usually when I read craft books, I'm like, and there's the exercise, and then you skip it because I'm usually reading in bed. But this time it meant something about the first couple chapters. I was like, I need to do these exercises, and it has been remarkably helpful. So I hope that it is very helpful for you.
I hope so. How's everybody else? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm thinking about adding a 4th stream because I have the 3. I go Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 8:30 Central Standard until like 10ish. I'm thinking about maybe adding like a Saturday from 9 to 11. But I don't know if you can hear them, but they are up and they are active and they are doing their best to be quiet, and that is their best at being quiet.
I have found and realized, not that anyone would say to my face otherwise, of course, most people don't really mind the tiniest little bit of kids in the background.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's
fair.
That's helpful.
Like I wouldn't care because I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, not that they would say it to my face, but the few times I have had the kids around, no one's said anything, and no one's been like, oh, the kids were really, etc., etc. So as long as they're not like constantly pulling you away, or
it's like real life.
It might be, and you could always jump into a quick, it's a kid's been 10 minutes and
we're sprinting now.
Time to sprint immediately.
Goodbye. And I do have the a mute on my microphone, which is really helpful because when they come in, I can give them the attention that they need, because I am a writer and I love doing that, but I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I'm mom first. And sometimes that means I have to be like, talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
That's how you should organize the sprints. Every time you hear the kids in the background, it's time to sprint. Sprint.
2 hours, nothing but
Yeah.
writing. Let's
You
go.
might not get any writing done, but your viewers will. And
And
that's the important thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. That's why we host them, is so that other people can get their work done. And it's nice when we get to work too, but like it's
Yeah.
the community and it's
Yeah.
also the writing.
Yeah.
I find that on the days that I do stream, sometimes I go, I'm not bothered to write now, it's fine, I'll have to write later anyway. And sometimes I do my best writing while I'm on stream, because there's accountability. It's like sitting right there. And I can't
That's
see
how I've
them,
got
but
most of my writing done.
it's like, oh, I need to write because these people are writing because I've told them to. Like, I should
Everyone can see what's on my screen, and they can see when I grab my phone, and that has helped so much.
Yes.
'Cause it
I
means-
can't pick up my phone.
Nope. And it that has bled into my non-sprinting time, in that I've been a better able, because we've been sprinting, and I've been like, my phone is right here, but I'm not going to touch it. And that has actually worked in helping break that habit of, I'm going to write 2 sentences and then I'm going to check this, and then I'm going to write 2 sentences and then I'm going to go over here. So that's been really helpful, even when I don't have my big writing sprints, because I have friends that need extra goodnight kisses and things.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that sometimes, if I am struggling with writing or motivation, I will set a timer as a physical sprint, or I'll hop onto Discord and use the sprint server in there, because I don't know, something about having a time.
Yeah,
It's like,
having a time and having a team.
I can't not have anything written by the time this timer goes off, because then I'm a terrible person. Like, I need to write something at least, so I'll at least start writing, and then that usually bleeds into, it gets me into that motivated space in order to write more. But yeah, people and just timers in general tend to help out with that.
Yeah,
motivation.
I find that having somebody else there, that's gonna, I've got to be the first one to say, hey, I wrote words. How did you do? You know, if I'm up there, I didn't write anything every single time. I mean, sometimes it happens, you know, but if that's like every single time, I didn't write anything. What'd you guys do? Yes, I'm hosting these, but I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't do that. So
It's really helpful in the
I've had
Discord
times
as well.
where I've had to do something else where I'm like, okay, I didn't get words done, but I also feel like I have to say I didn't get words because
but I
had to fix the whole stream. The whole stream was going down, so I heard typing, but the typing was just me fixing stuff.
Yes.
You know? It's just that accountability, having someone else there, we're all working together, and I just like working with other people more than I like working by myself. So
see, I'm in the
I have the option to be by myself if I want to, so I'm by myself, but you're there. I love that.
We are all together apart.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
This is good advice, Sherry.
This is good advice.
Read, crochet, eat cheese. That works.
Cheese.
It's like so real.
Any specific cheese, Sherry, or will any cheese do in those situations?
All any and all, right?
Just like all the cheese.
Crow, hello, how are you? Had one of those moments today, actually. I'm doing final editing before sending to beta readers right now, and discovered a whole scene I forgot about. Yeah.
Ooh,
I've done that many times before when I've been reading my work and I've gone, I wrote that? Oh, okay. I don't remember doing that.
Yep.
No, it's worse when you swear you have written a scene. It's like, I know I wrote this scene down, but I can't find it.
I did that for my comic, and I started drawing the scene, and then I went for the words to start finding out where I'm going to put the dialogue bubble, and I'm like, please tell me I wrote this down, and I didn't just think the whole thing up, and I'm like, I thought the whole scene in my head and didn't write it. And I have like all of these images for this scene, but I have no words for it. And now I've got to remember what I wrote. I was so upset with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens.
This means you've just got a very, very good imagination.
I think of stories nonstop. I worry about when I get older. I'm not even kidding. I really worry when I get older, I'm going to just be thinking and talking out loud. Because I already do it in my head. And that is a serious, my husband says that's a really concern. I'm like, I'm really worried. So when I get older, I'm just going to be talking to myself about stuff that you guys don't know what I'm talking about because it's a story in my head. I'm very concerned about this.
Only the best people talk out loud to themselves. It's fine.
We are best people.
In my head, as long as I can keep it in my head or just write it down, I just worry that when I get old, I'm not going to remember to do that. I'm seriously concerned about this. Like, it's a legit concern. Like, I'm thinking of stories all the time. I don't know if it's normal or not, but all the time.
I think for writers, it's pretty normal.
Okay.
Don't worry. Just as crazy as the rest of us. It's all right.
Okay. As long as it's not just me, or are you just telling me that so I don't feel bad?
Okay. I once came up with an entire trilogy based on one of my kids walking up to me going, "There's no female bees," and me going, "No, there's a queen bee." Story somehow.
I love it.
Yep, it doesn't take much.
Right, Sin. Let my first draft sit until I forget most of the details and read through it as a reader point of view and revise. Yep.
Yeah.
Sherry, there's no one way to do it, to be fair. Sherry reads thrice, reader read, writer read, editor read. How do you differentiate between writer read and editor read? Because I find that very interesting, because I think editors do a slightly different thing than perhaps what I believe revision is and what I think editing is.
I think for me,
I know some people don't differentiate between the two.
No, I think for me, the writer in me will write absolutely everything. Like, this has nothing to do with the plot, but it's story that is in my head and I just want to write it. It doesn't need to be in the story, but I'm literally will write everything. Yeah. The editor says, that's a whole different story. That's a prequel. That's a side adventure.
Yeah.
This is the story. So that's what the editor in me does, because the writer in me is like, I need to talk about all of the characters. I have to tell all of their backstory and why are they there? And just, no, we need to squeeze this down into one cohesive story. And then if you want to take this character and tell their story later, Nia, you can do that another time. Editor is going to say, put it for later. Writer, no, put it all. Give me all of the story.
Yeah.
See,
writing everything.
I don't call that editing. I call that revising.
Maybe.
Oh.
So there's revising, rewriting, and redrafting.
Okay, so maybe it's revising, and then editing is also like the grammar and all of the.
Yeah, so I
kind of like that stuff. So it's not. I don't want to say it's the unfun stuff, but okay. So the reviser, the writer, reviser, and then editor.
Yeah, so I say revising is sorting out the plot, sorting out the characters, getting rid of stuff that you don't need plot-wise, and then editing comes in where you look at the sentence structure and the sentence flow and the grammar and all of that. I see that as editing, but then people see, I think the terms, some people see them as interchangeable and some people have them in their head more clearly defined, and some people just define them as they want to define them. So I don't think there's a right or wrong like title or word for these things, because they're essentially the same thing. You just know it as editing and I just call it revising. It's essentially the same thing. But that's the thing about writing, like there's no set rules and there's no set guidelines.
Yeah.
So everybody learns different things in a different way.
Yeah. For me, like revising is part of the editing process of what I do, not the part that I send it to an editor. But yeah, I go through all those processes. It's like writing, reading, and editing. But yeah, revising is definitely very different from the grammar and, making sure the sentence structure and making sure that the plot structure is proper. So yeah, there's different parts. So you're absolutely right. But yeah, the writer part of me understands that is not the same. It's very, very different. The writer is very different from the reviser and the editor and all of that stuff, because the writer wants everything. The reviser narrows it down. And then if I go back to the writer part, then the writer says, I know you took that out, but I think I can just a little bit, put a little bit of that in. Not the whole thing. Can I at least just get this little tiny bit in there? So yeah.
Yeah.
Trash Panda.
Yeah, Garbage Panda.
Star Wars was horrible until an editor scrapped the script and edited the scenes around to make the show more intense. I've never seen Star Wars. I know precisely 3 things about Star Wars. And
I need to know them.
Don't think anything is a spoiler now.
No, you're good.
Luke kisses his sister. Darth Vader is his father, and the Death Star blows up. And
you got it.
I work at Disney, who made the new movies, and the fact that I know barely anything about the plot. I know the characters' names, I think. Do I?
Yeah.
But that's what I know about Star Wars.
I mean, you're missing some details, but you got some.
It's not the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely some caveat into why certain things happen. It's like, well, that happened, but.
Oh, and there's a character that everybody hates, but I don't know who it is.
You got all the memes.
Yeah.
Probably. But I did not know that the editor scrapped the script and just edited the scenes in a specific way, which is very interesting. It can show you what you can do with when you just like put things together.
Yeah, sometimes it's like the idea and the meat, it's there, but this is a mess. So take this, chop it all up.
Right thing to do. Reordering the scenes to make it make sense.
Yep.
Make it. Yeah, I said that. Make a food.
The writer has a copy of The Artist's Way. I haven't finished reading it. I think Marissa Mohi has a review of the book.
I would say that if you finish reading The Artist's Way, the important thing is that just like any advice book, take what you like and just say goodbye to the rest. And because some of the things in there I did not find helpful, but a lot of the things that I found, I started doing The Artist's Way on and off when I was 17, and I still use some of the things, especially when I'm stressed out or upset. It has still brought value, but not everything, because we're all different. So I would recommend Artist's Way, but I wouldn't recommend using Artist's Way as like the only book on creativity, because it might not work for you, and that's okay.
I think that's something a lot of new writers at least need to learn. Especially with all of writing advice that gets thrown around and is like perceived as a literal rule that you must follow to be a writer. You do what works for you and for your style and for your story and your genre. And if you don't like a piece of writing advice, then you don't need to do it. You don't need to pay attention to it. If you like using adverbs, then use adverbs. If you like using said, then use that's should be a given.
I
You
it's sad.
Yeah.
get started on the said debate. I will talk about it forever if I get started on it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, you take the advice that works for you and how you write, and worry. You only need to worry about writing advice when it comes from a professional editor when you're at that stage you are going to get your book published. That's really the advice that you should think more about listening to and actually adhering to your novel, not some random advice that you happen to read on the internet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Me, you know what? I do think that I remember seeing that on Instagram. Actually, I do feel like I've seen them. Thank you, Sherry. Charlie, these octopi fortune cookies are now working on a tank top. Oh,
Cool.
Nice.
I just make blankets over and over again and then donate them. I think I only have one in my house. And I've made so many.
I'd love to do stuff like crocheting, or I can't get into it. My mum tried to teach me. My mum tried to teach me once. This was a fair few years ago though, and I just couldn't get a handle on the hand movements. And then one thing would go wrong, and I'd be like, oh, and then
Yeah. My daughter does the one where you take the big yarns and you just actually do it by hand.
Oh, like on your arm? Or
no, I'll grab one. I'll let you see it really quick. You'll know what they are.
Please.
It's like, yeah, like the super really thick knitting.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's so soft.
soft.
I love it.
That looks amazing.
It's the kind of blanket you have to like.
I can't hear you.
That's okay. That made my hand motions very confusing. I just want to touch it.
Yes. Oh, it's so soft. Oh my gosh.
See, that's one of those blankets that I would not use it as a blanket. I would use it as I'd stroke it.
Yep.
It wouldn't keep me warm. It would keep me comforted.
It would be my friend.
Yeah, I just squeeze it sometimes. I'm like, nobody touch it. Just like I was holding it. That's how I'm like, oh,
Yes.
I just squeeze the blanket.
Sherry is at a point where their writing goals are far more abstract. It's like, so this scene where A and H yell at each other, the complete opposite of what they really mean. Finish that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good goal.
Oh, that's so hard.
Yeah.
That's so hard. It's the fun part of writing. It's
It
the
is.
difficult thing.
The conflicts.
Yes.
I love it.
Senga, need real goals, or my brain goes brr and nothing. Yeah.
Same.
So you're a solid, like, I need to see the list, or
Mhm.
I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of other things that I don't need to get done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Charlie, most of my goals are weekly, day by day. I only have like one main monthly goal, and that's to finish my weekly goals and start querying.
I like that.
That's good.
That's what it was.
I have
One of my goals for
Oh,
March,
go.
start querying. That's what I
Yes.
forgot.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
Darling.
That's very important, Sarah.
It's very important.
Very
I
important.
have monthly goals, and then I break them down into like really small micro goals that it's like it would be silly for me to not work on this. And then I also have like 90-day goals, which is that one, where I have 2 things that I'm tracking to try and build habits for those 90 days. And then I've got an all year one because I'm trying to get better at exercising. Thanks COVID, I used to be able to exercise a whole bunch. And when I started the year, I could not walk back and forth through my house more than a couple times before I got winded. But now I'm up to I'm up to 10 minutes that I can do consistently. And then in March, I'm
Yay.
going to build up to 15. I'm going to try and go back up to 30. And I have a friend.
Yay!
Hi, Betty. You need your bear?
Yes.
No. Can you go see Holly and ask her to help you find Bear?
I just write everything down in here. And so I know I'm not going to forget anything, but I like to mark as I get things. I just like to
Gotta
got
go.
things done, and eventually I'll have to like start over, and I'm like, oh, I did everything. I need to make a list of new things, but I try not to put so much pressure self that I become stressed out because I've got this massive list and things aren't getting done fast enough. Because my daughter's like this too. I used to be very, very, very rigid. Very, this must be done. This must be done now. It must be done at this time, and it can be very stressful and very taxing. And I can feel it. I'm a fitness instructor, so I can feel how my body reacts to stress. So where it was fine when I was younger, and like I said, I have a daughter who's very much this way. Her day is structured to the T. Her schedule is made out months in advance. And I remember that, and I'm like, she can handle it now, but I've already told her, as if you start feeling like you're getting or start like if something's not, because I mean, when I say the schedule is full, it's full, like beginning to end, of the day, every single day. Your sleep is scheduled, I just don't do that anymore. But I still need my day to be structured. I just can't have it so rigid that, trying to explain it. I can't have it so rigid that if it goes off, that now that is a stress. If that makes sense.
Yeah, if you miss one thing,
Okay.
because you schedule, you miss everything else as well.
Yeah, and I used to be like, this thing didn't get done, and it would just almost like, I would almost become so stressed because then I can't miss the other things also.
Yeah.
So now I'm in this crunch to get this thing done. It also must be done right. And I must get all of these other things done. And I would sleep for 3 hours a day sometimes. Not good, not good. And I have to stay on my daughter. She's in college. I'm like, are you getting enough sleep? And so she like literally gets like 6 hours of sleep. And I'm like, okay. But she goes, now she takes a rest during the day where she like will just like really like decompress. It's her middle of the day rest, and then boom, the rest of the day. I'm like, okay.
See,
but
it's always good
she's
to
okay.
Break, yeah.
Yeah.
I was the type of person to, the more goals or the more things I had on my to-do list, the more stressed out I got, and the more I procrastinated because that list was like very overwhelming. But then that sort of spiraled into, now I've got to like do all of this stuff in a very, very short amount of time. And then that just stressed me out even more. So I've become more used to giving myself smaller goals that I can actually manage. And then once that goal is complete, I can give myself extra. I don't give myself an extra goal. I continue working on it as if I did have another goal. Or I could just stop because I've done what I needed to do. But I always find that small goals, I feel like are better in the long run, because there's not so much that you need to focus on, and you still have your time, like your daughter's scheduled in a time to rest.
Yes.
You have that time that you don't need to be worrying about, okay, what have I got to do next? What have I got to do next? They're small, they're done quickly, and you've got time to do self-care and rest and relax.
Yes. Yeah, it's so important. You cannot physically wear yourself out, and even if you're not doing something physical, so you just have to be careful, and it's finding a balance. And you're going to change at different stages in your life, which I've learned now that I am the age that I am, that things that I could do very easily when I was 19, 20 are harder now because things are different. Not everything's the same. So, and I think of things that stress me out differently. Like being stressed out is not fun anymore. Before it's like, oh, because I've got so much to do. I don't know how I thought that was great, but I did at one point in my life. That was a good thing to have every minute of my day filled. That's not fun anymore. I'm like, taking a nap is actually good if I can get a nap in, and having time to just read and relax and read, not I'm reading on the go. No, I can sit down and read. This is my reading time. And actually getting a good night's sleep. I can't not get a good night's sleep anymore, or I can't function the next day. When did that happen? All you know in the chat, that's going to happen one day. You're going to be like, all of this binging all night long, that is no problem right now. One day, binging all day is going to ruin the rest, like the next 3 days.
When we very first got married, my husband was talking to someone, and I was like in the conversation, but not really. And the guy was like, "So what's the best part about being married?" And like, kind of, and my husband was like, "I get to go to bed at like a normal time. It's great. I get a full night of sleep."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, good. I'm glad."
Oh gosh, that's right. That's right.
So, well, I guess my March goal is to finish my work in progress, or at least get set. Yes, give me.
Yes.
Easy to type. I'm being inspired to write something, but I'm slow. Maybe I'll work on it. Take 30 or 40.
Easy to type is being silly because they don't know that they are supposed to live forever.
Yep.
Is the thing. Because I know easy to type, and they think they're being funny. But
really,
30 to 40 years is not long enough, friend.
Slow. There is no speed for writing.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean they're working on their obituary, and they think they're going to finish in 40 years, just in time. Ha ha ha! Untrue. You live forever, sir.
It's the obituary to post publicly to move on to another place so they don't get caught out.
Yes. There you go.
You need to keep moving, or someone is going to notice. Sarah, I'd love to watch your sprints.
It's 3 to 4. Oh my goodness.
See,
oh yeah.
See, I would love to attend yours as well, but like, I'm in bed.
No. I do the Wednesday one, and Sarah's like, I'm going to do one sprint with you, and then I'm going to bed, and that's it.
But yeah, otherwise,
no.
1 a.m., 2 a.m., and I'm like, oh, I'm fast asleep during those times.
We understand. Mamaverse, yes.
Yep.
Is at the moment, yeah. Sherry, definitely what I stream for. Downside, I talk smack to all my characters all the time, and people can see me yelling at them.
And we love it.
I love that.
And
I'm like, what did the character do?
It's just
Sherry's laughing, Sherry's crying. What's
intrigue? It's like, what are you writing now, Sherry? I need to know.
I want to know.
Yes, it keeps it interesting.
Right, so it is getting close to 11 o'clock, so let me...
George Lucas was a dialogue master, said no.
Oh, yes. That's okay.
Ashley's eyelashes are giving me life.
Thank you. They are, I think it's just a sample of mascara.
Charlie, I have an idea notebook rather than a story Bible where I can see all my ideas, and sometimes I will even combine them together.
Yes.
Nice.
I have ideas post-it notes. Mm-hmm. Here are my desk post-it notes at the moment.
That's a lot of post-it notes.
You have so many ideas.
Some of it is story, some of it is querying, some of it is, I want to say, math for the boys, for the online lessons. Dates, for some reason. I have tons of blankets. Not blankets, I'm reading a comment at the same time. I have tons of notebooks. I don't write in them.
Yeah, we fight over pretty notebooks here. Every time someone comes home with a really pretty notebook, we're like, mine.
Sin, it's maybe weird, but I hardly set goals in stone. I don't like being told what to do. So if I tell myself what to do by setting goals, I tend to rebel against myself, if that makes sense. It makes sense. It's how
You are a self-rebel.
It's how I try to tell myself, once I have finished what I need to do, then I will have this snack I want, or then I will watch this program. And then my brain's like, I don't see why you just don't do that now. Like, no one's going to stop you. No one's going to tell you off or get you in trouble. And I'm like, you're right. And
So-
then I watch the thing or eat the snack.
The person who wrote the book about the year of trying to be happier also wrote a book called The Four Tendencies. And she says, like, more than, you know, are you an introvert, are you an extrovert? You can kind of break people down into four basic groups. And they are the, I know I can remember three of them. I can't remember the fourth ones, but there's the, like, the appeaser or the people pleaser. And then there's the questioner who's like, well, why are we doing this? Why don't we do it this other way?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the rebel. So as soon as someone tells the rebel what to do, they go, I'm not doing that, even if it's your own
Beneficial.
self.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that the fourth one was, whoops, I'm one of those three. It's been so much fun. But she has a lot of tips for people who are trying to set the whole thing is about setting goals and taking care of yourself as a person in one of those four tendencies. And again, it's one of those books that you have to look at and be like, I like this part, and I chunk the rest.
Yeah.
And a rebel might not pick it up, but if you're
Not if they're
interested,
told to.
no, I'm not telling you. I'm just saying that I read this book and it was very interesting for me, a person who is one of those three things.
So I don't pick up this book. I'm like, you can't tell me what to do.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Can't tell me.
Tell me I can't
That's
read this book. I'll show you.
well, I found out that she wrote the book from her podcast, and it took me a really long time to pick the book up, if that says anything.
Yeah.
It does sound interesting though. Sometimes I'm really good and I will stick to it and I will, okay, I can get this done. And sometimes I'm just like, no, I'm just not bothered. I will just do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. I think her name is Gretchen Rubin. But I'm not 100% sure. I think it's Gretchen Rubin.
I'm sure some inventive Googling will bring it up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that it's called The Four Tendencies. And that she wrote a book about a year where she tried to be happy. And did like measured experiments over the year. Like, oh, there is a study that said this makes you happier. So I'm going to try that for a month and see how I feel. And
Yeah,
then
you're
while
right.
she...
It's Gretchen Rubin.
I did it.
No, I'm definitely going to check that out because that is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Right. I have a quick question before we go. My sleeve's coming off.
Oh.
Who's doing in the comments? Because Camp Nanarimo in April.
I think
I know,
three
but
of us.
what are you two working on? Anything specific? I don't know if you can
Sin found it.
get the different things back or not, but ooh.
Sin found it. There's even a quiz that you can take.
Yeah, I was just looking at the quiz. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah, definitely look.
Upholders, obligers, questioners, and rebels. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if I could take the quiz like how I was when I was 18 or 19 versus how I am now. Because I know I'm actually a little bit different. I wonder if it would still say, no, you're still this. you just changed a little bit. So I'm curious.
The same one, but in a sort of different way, perhaps.
Mhm.
I like that. Sherry is good. I'm looking forward to learning exactly what everybody is doing and what your goals are. To push you all to get them done. Sin hasn't thought about it. If I get most of the outline for book finished, I'll participate if I can. Participate with the outline.
Yeah.
I don't know if camp is going to change on the website where you can pick different things or different ways to track, and I hope it does. How it is.
I think they're gonna set it up for sure. Like it goes live tomorrow, so we'll have a better idea.
Yeah. It's camp. You set your own goal if you outline for it, and then set a pretend goal, I guess, to track how well you do. But that's still participating technically, and just participate while you do the outline. You don't need to write.
Yeah. So yeah, this is my first Camp Nano, so I don't know anything. I'm going into this kind of like I went into NaNoWriMo. It was my first NaNoWriMo, so I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing whatever they tell me. So yeah, I think if I get to pick a project, I think I might switch over from writing on the fantasy novel because I'm writing 3 books and a prequel for the fantasy novel, and I want them all almost completely done so that I don't want to rush publish them, but I really do want them like every 3 months to be able to bump them out like that. But for the webcomic, I'm just going to put it out there, and it will be spoilerish, but I would like to see if I could put the webcomic in novel form and see. I'm just curious. So
it's fine. Camp NaNoWriMo is choose your own adventure NaNoWriMo, as I'm calling it from now on. You pick your goal. You don't have to write news. You can do whatever you want in Camp NaNoWriMo, basically. You used to be able to pick whether you were outlining, drafting, editing, revising, and you used to be able to pick how you tracked your progress, words or hours or minutes or things like that. I don't know how that's changed, but you can do whatever it is that you want for Camp NaNoWriMo. There are no rules. Like NaNoWriMo is 50,000 words. There's no rules for Camp NaNoWriMo.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, I think that'll be fun. Then I might do that.
More people to bug. How are you doing? How's it going? What are we doing now?
That's right.
Right, guys. It is my bedtime.
Yes.
I'm not going to go to bed. I shall revenge procrastinate my bedtime. I shouldn't. I probably will. I'm not going to lie. So thank you so much for joining us here today for the February wrap up. Do we want to do some outros before we head off, everybody?
Yes. Ashley, can you do your outro? Oh, I still can't hear you.
If you want to hang out some more, I had it double muted, you guys. I was on it. If you would like to hang out some more, I'm on Twitch on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That's me. Yep, it's my turn. It's my turn. That's right. And I would love to hang out and get some words done with you. I'm also on Instagram at Ashley B. Pedigo, and this was so great. I loved getting to hang out with you guys and chat and talk goals, which is like my favorite thing.
Yes. You're welcome anytime. Yes. Anytime you want to come back with us, you can.
This was so fun. I really loved it.
Oh, good.
I'm going to double mute again, though, and I want to hear your outros.
All right. And I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, here on YouTube, and I'm also now on Twitch. Yay! So you can follow me here. You can follow me on Twitch. One of my favorite things to do is to do book adaptations that have been done to movies or TV shows. So I have adaptations. I do Draw With Me while we talk about books, like anything that talks about books. I like to do. So if you like to talk about books, if you like to do writing sprints, I'm here. You can write, you can draw, you can read, whatever you need to do to be productive. That's what I do sprints for. So check me out here on YouTube or over on Twitch. We have a lot of fun. Sarah?
Oh, right, yeah, me. I'm Sarah. I write YA in middle grade. I do writing videos, writing experiment videos, like writing blindfolded for some reason. I stream every other Wednesday, except if it's camp or NaNoWriMo, then it's every single Wednesday. Yeah, that's my outro. I need
Excellent.
to get a better one.
That's
One,
okay.
I'll put it on the list. It's fine.
Come up with a good outro. There you go.
Yes. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.